Hola, bom dia and welcome to Portugal Dreams. We've had another really hectic week again this week between vets trips with Alfie and Dottie and a hospital visit with my mum as well. She fell and banged her head this week, so it was more of a precaution. She is fine, don't worry. We have still managed to get a few odd jobs done. I've given you a full tour around the land, and of course we're getting on with a bedroom in Mum and Dad's house as well. So watch on to see what happens. This week's video has very kindly been sponsored by FitVille, who've sent us each a pair of shoes. We'll show you them a little bit later on in our video. So it's been a little while since last time we've had a proper look around all of the land and everything going on, so I thought I'd take you with me as I'm just going and checking everything. Now, of course, at the moment we've got this new bed that my dad's still in the process of filling up. The rain's been doing it some good actually. The other day it was absolutely full. And as you can see, the hay has shrunk down quite a bit, so we do know we need to fill them more than we did last time. So our first batch of strawberries, I believe, has finished fruiting now. I can't see any new fruits that have been growing on them, but they have got quite a few off stems by the look of it, so always a good sign. Then over here as well you can probably see a little bit of the garlic that my mum planted. That is going through absolutely beautifully. Even though I believe it's a winter plant, but we seem to be getting quite a bit of progress from it. And then just down at the bottom are the red onions that we planted. I'll just go around the other side so we can get a better view of them. You can just see in here we're finally getting kind of the onions that you'd be used to seeing. So they do start and they just look like spring onions, and then they end up at this kind of size. So it is the bulb that's the last bit to actually grow out. And you can see another good example just in this corner here. And you can see how well that's grown. It won't be long before we're harvesting them and eating them. And we have also been using just the stems as spring onions on salads, so nothing's getting wasted. All of the carrots are now out. They weren't a great success in here. I believe it was due to the fact that we were using compost. So the carrots actually wanted a less nutritious soil than what we'd been putting them in, which is why we've had a little bit of issue with them. Regardless, the chickens and the goats have been very happy with our mistakes because it meant that they got them. And then we have the tomatoes on the grow bags. They are still flowering, so we're still going to get getting tomatoes. And we have got some absolutely lovely sized tomatoes starting to grow. I believe these ones are the cooking tomatoes on this plant. And then we've got cherry tomatoes on another plant. They are all mixed up. I'm sure you heard the palaver that we had where we got them confused and had no idea what was in each bag. So they just got planted and we'll figure it out from there. And then we're on to the second batch of strawberries. These ones were planted about two weeks to a month, I want to say, after the first load. And these are just the last few berries on them now, which I am going to harvest. Anything that we can't eat for whatever reason, so if it's, you know, got a bug bite in it or anything, is something we'll look through and make sure that the chickens get. They seem to really like strawberries. It's just a little under. I believe they're all a little bit raw there still. So there's just a couple, but more than nothing. So then there's the peppers. I still don't know if we're going to get anything from them now. I think it's a bit late in the season. I think it was a soil nutrients issue, but figured that out a little bit too late, we think. Then we have the radishes over here. We have been harvesting quite a few of them and eating them on salads, which is why there's random blank spots. Then our first lot of lettuces, and as you can see, we have been eating these ones. We don't need to buy any lettuce anymore, which is great. Then onto the melons. So these were from seed. My mum's grown them from the seeds of the watermelon that the farmer gave us last year, actually. So they're an experiment still, but they seem to be getting on quite well. And just around the corner is our last one. These, I believe, are our cucumbers. They're getting on really well. We do need to add some sort of posts to them to just give them a bit more stability. Just because we don't want them spreading out too much, and we have heard that they need some support going on. Then this is the second lot of lettuces that the farmer's given us. And the first lot of lettuces the farmer gave us. We've got this much lettuce that we've actually been harvesting some and feeding it to the goats and chickens. So I'm just going to grab one now, and I will be bringing that one and sharing it between the goats and the chooks. Now it's snack time for the chickens, so just one of the lettuces that I've picked. I'm just going to throw it in, and that is a good way to distract them away from the gate, because I actually need to get in and see if we've had any eggs laid. And just while I was doing that, the meat van has come, so Mum's just going down to get some chicken for Alfie.
Alfie's not been very well and he's off his food, so I'm just going to see if I can get him some chicken breast. Hola! Hola!
Here's the local meat van. We're still learning the language, so Mum's going to attempt to order in 2 sentences of Portuguese.
Pode entrar.
Ah, desculpa, não Portuguese.
Ah!
Frango.
Pernas?
Não.
Frango mesmo.
Sim. Ok, muito obrigada.
Assim partido?
Não, isso ok, obrigada.
E mais?
É tudo?
É tudo.
Obrigada.
5,60, não tem moedas?
Não.
Não. Depois logo me dá os 60 cêntimos. Está bem? Ok.
Next time.
Sim, 60.
Sim.
Ok. Obrigado.
Obrigado.
Adeus.
Adeus.
Muito obrigada.
Adeus, obrigado.
No. Gingerly getting down the steps. Ciao. Adios.
So what did you manage to get for Alfie?
A full chicken,
A full
because I didn't know how
chicken.
to ask for a breast.
They might not even call it that.
No.
So that's 2 full chickens we bought for Alfie now. And after that disturbance, now we're into the chicken coop. So it's first time to check to see if there's any eggs for us today. Have you been laying any eggs? Are there any eggs? So this is the nest box. And it is being used by two of our girls. It's Henrietta and Dora the Explorer that are using the nest box. Yoko has been quite the little mischief maker. So for weeks after Henrietta and Dora had started laying eggs, we noticed that Yoko hadn't been laying any eggs. She'd not even started a new nest or anything, and we were getting quite concerned. And I will show you where she used to nest in just a second. So it was after about a week or so that my dad noticed that this barn door had been slightly askew. This is the barn that we'd been moving all of the hay into. And in here, what we had found was quite a large nest, absolutely stacked with eggs. Yoko had made her own little nest and been using that out of the way of the rest of us. And we had no idea. And now, as you can probably see, the nest is empty. So Yoko has made another nest, we think. And we have no idea where. I have checked around previously to see if there's anywhere she could have snuck off to in this area. So there's quite a few areas they've been scrying at, you can probably see. But so far, no sign of a new nest. Now the concern is that she's gotten even further back into the shed, or the, whatever you call it, and has been nesting in there. In which case, I don't know if we're going to find it anytime soon, because that shed is absolutely packed full of hay. It's going to be a nightmare getting in there. At first we thought she'd just stopped laying for a few days. Chickens do tend to do that. But after this long, we're starting to think it is a secondary nest. So while I'm in here, I am just going to have another look around, just see if there's anywhere. But I do doubt it. And while we're here, I thought I'd just give you a little look at the upgrade to the goat enclosure. So this is their shed for on a night, and as you can probably tell, my dad has made them a little straw rack, so they have somewhere to eat. And little Mabel's already figured out that if she stands on the bench on the back, she can eat out the top of the hay rack, which is not what was intended, but you know what goats are like. So I've just taken the door off to have a look around and just see if there's anywhere I can spot. And the girls straight away have come to investigate. I was hoping that Yoko would maybe show me where she might have been hiding her eggs. So far no luck, but all three of them have gone through the area where the nest was and kind of pulled it apart. So I would take that as a sign that it is definitely an inactive nest and she won't be using it again. There is a couple of spots that I think I need to investigate further. So there's a hole just down here, and there is another one just here. Now I don't want to go sticking my hands in, just in case there is anything else that's made a home there, which is always a worry. So before the camera died on me, what I was about to say is Yoko did seem to go straight in and investigate again. So I am pretty sure she's got a nest somewhere in there further. So what I'm going to do is when I muck them out tomorrow, I'll be taking a straw or hay from that side and using it to fill in the coops this time. Hopefully that will give me a better look in and I'll be able to see if there is a nest. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do. We did also have a chicken escape for a couple of days straight, They had managed to break a hole in the wire that was exactly chicken sized. So we had a moment where we were running down the fields to try and find chickens. All fun. And just while I'm here, I've got a couple of pieces of lettuce for the goats. So that's what we're going to do next.
Hello, Mabel.
We still are working on taming them both up.
Mabel?
Mabel is getting quite tame. She's letting us give her little strokes now and again. Annie has always been tame.
Mabel. Hey. Can Mabel have some? Don't bully her. Don't bully her.
No! She's spotted where I put the spare lettuce.
And little Mabel,
Once again hiding under the table, and Annie, you are breathing right in the microphone. So I will leave these two in peace and have a look further down the orchard. And just while I'm here, this is the best part to get a look at the pomegranates. So as you can see, we've got loads of flowers on them. So I am really hopeful that we'll get pomegranates this year. I think we got one, but it wasn't a very good one last year. So I'm worried. This is the peach tree that we planted that the farmer gave us. And that's still getting on quite well as well. And the rose bush has been growing some absolutely beautiful flowers on as well. Some just around there, as you can see. Now the rose bush does need a little bit of care because we've got pokeweed growing right next to it, which isn't a good sign. So we will be going at that again and trying to get rid of it without killing the rose plant, hopefully, because I quite like roses. So this is our smallest cherry tree. This is the one right next to the goat pen. And you might be wondering where all the cherries have gone. I actually harvested them all the other day. Now there wasn't that many, but it was just enough. So that's this tree pretty much done. There is just 1 or 2 cherries left that weren't quite ripe. And then the next tree is also a cherry tree. And as you can tell, these ones are still ripening, so they're not ready just yet either. But they are full of fruit, so when they are ready, they'll be good.
FitVille have very kindly sent us a pair of shoes each for us to try. Yeah, so I'll just show you mine. They come in a nice little bag. And I chose this one. It's like a khaki colour. Grey and a pale blue. On the side where the F is, there is reflective material, so I thought that was quite good if you was out walking at night. Looking at it, the stitching's absolutely perfect, like you'd expect from a designer handbag, so I would say that's good quality. And overall, yeah, it looks good. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I like those. Very good. I chose some, again, khaki type. Stitching on's excellent. Yeah, there's different sole, different pattern on them. Plenty of grip. Yeah, we'll get them tried on and see what they're like. Ellie Rose has...
Yep, so I got mine from a slightly different line, I believe. It was a line for foot care. So there is also a very nice manual that's come in mine, talking about how to take care of your feet. And then just in here is the actual shoes. Now these are, I've already sneaked and tried them on behind Mum and Dad's back. They are so comfortable. The brilliant thing as well is they do have 2 different options of wide foot fittings. You've probably seen I wear sneakers and trainers quite a lot because my feet have got a bit of a funny shape to them, and their number 2 wide shoe does fit me absolutely brilliantly, and they have an even wider size for people with wider feet than me, which is absolutely great.
I must just say I don't normally wear trainers for the reason that I don't find them very comfy. I find them quite cumbersome, so we'll see how we go.
And I love trainers.
These two love trainers.
I usually go for a well-known branded make, but I must say, looking at these, they're certainly of as good as, if not better quality than the usual brand I go for. Yeah, I'm really impressed with them so far, but we'll try them on and see what we think. So just a close-up of the shoe so you can see the stitching on it. As I say, I'm pretty impressed with it. It looks pretty good.
How does it feel so far, Steve?
Absolutely great.
Yeah?
Far better than the ones I've just taken off. Hello Dottie, have you come for a look? Well, first impressions of them, really nice, really comfy. Yeah, plenty of width. Yeah, really nice. Impressed so far. We'll see how we do when we go for a walk in a bit.
So I'm just going to try on mine as well while we're here. I've got my first one on already because I am impatient. Now the other thing that I noticed with these is they do have quite a wide toe box. That is something they mention quite a lot. So it just helps a lot of normal shoes actually press your feet together just a little bit, and it isn't always the best for you. So these are absolutely great for that.
So one thing we did forget to mention was the shape of the footbed. It supports the arch of your foot. I have a bit of a problem with shoes in that way. It's just years of wearing high heels, so I have quite an arch in my foot. So yeah, so far, as soon as I've put them on, they're comfortable straight away. Like Ellie Rose says about the wide toe box, there's no pinching of my toes, my arch is supported, the back of my heel feels supported, the whole shoe feels like it's hugging my foot. Yeah, I think I'm going to like these trainers.
So while we're on our walk, I just noticed these cactus. They're now flowering. I think they'll open up more than that, but yeah, quite pretty.
So this is what's going to be our bedroom. It's off the lounge, just so you can get some sort of context. So I'm going to start today and touch up some paint because it was 2 rooms and we've knocked it into 1, because I don't know if people know, but the Portuguese have very small bedrooms. Each half's about 8 foot by 8 foot. So it's only really going to make a room 16 foot by 8. The floor's tiled. So where we've taken the centre wall out, I'm going to touch up paint that. We've had some new electrics put in. We've blocked the other doorway up. Well, Steve has. So I'm going to make a start on that because I ordered a bed a couple of weeks ago now, and they said it would be here around 4 to 6 weeks, so we need to get started. My first job is to hoover it all out and hoover the walls down, and then we'll make a start on the walls.
So we're expecting a few more rainy days, so we thought we'd get on with this bedroom. So I've got a lot of stuff stored in here, as you can see, so we're going to get it moved out and get painted, fillered and sorted out, ready for the bed coming. Hopefully we'll get all the furniture laid out and just then be waiting for the bed. So that's the room emptied out, as you can hear. It's very echoey now. Got a lot of little holes to fill, bit of sealant in them, decorator sealant. Got a couple of bits what need filling on the wall, and we do have still some staining where the roof was leaking. I don't think it's leaking now. We had a temporary repair done to it. We're just waiting for the roof's being done. Yeah, so probably have to put some sort of treatment on that. We'll give it a bit of a scrub first and see if we can get a lot of it off. But otherwise, yeah, we're just getting some damp paint, you know, what stops the damp showing through. As you can see, we've got some down at the bottom there as well. This is all where the old roof was leaking at the back. So we're going to have to take care of some of this as well. Hopefully, when we get it done, I know we haven't had the roof done yet, when we get this painted and sorted and the roof's done, we won't get any more of this coming through. Some of it looks like it's all rising down, but it's always been just earth piled up against the side and shelter over the top what was leaking, so the earth's got wet and it's soaking through. I am digging out around the back of the building as well, so that should stop some of that, hopefully. But whatever, we've got to get this sort of livable as a little bedroom, so we can get moved down here and out of the caravan. Be a lot more comfortable and a lot more, you know, a lot easier for us and the dogs to be in one place rather than moving about between the caravan and here.
What are you doing, Steve?
I'm just masking the tiles at the bottom, so I can paint this. They seem to have where they put the tiles and the lip in, they seem to put the slope down from the wall onto the tiles, and it's a bit of a pain to paint, to be quite honest. You either try and blend it with the tiles or you try and blend it with the walls.
It's like the concrete, isn't it, that they've got on the walls?
Yeah. It's just a bit awkward. So I'm just masking it off. Which also isn't very easy. The masking tape's not very good. It's been stood a while, so it doesn't stick very well. Could be also that there's a bit of damp in the wall still. I haven't got the roof done yet, so.
They should be starting that in a couple of weeks, all being well.
Maybe then it would take a bit of time to blend them to dry out.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do is just do a patch at a time before it peels off again. No, people say it was frog tape, but I ain't seen any here. There must be some somewhere. Now I'm just filling the bottom in first with the brush. With them being stippled walls are a bit hard to cover as well because the cement has little holes in it all over, you know, like, well, stipple mats, so it's just hard to fill all the little gaps and grooves. So I'm going over with a roller, and if I get any sort of fairly big holes like I can see, I'm just filling in with a brush later. Just to gaps.
So as you've probably seen, I've been painting in this room this week. We're just sorting it out and putting a few bits in ready for when the bed arrives, which should be hopefully either later this week or next week. So we're just getting sorted out. So the bed's obviously going to go in the middle there. We need a headboard as well, which we haven't organised yet. So over at the other side of the room we've got a mirror to put up, and at some point we will be making a wardrobe for that corner, but it's a bit of an odd shape is the corner, so yeah, we'll be leaving that for a bit later. As soon as that gets done we'll be moving down here. There's also a lampshade to get, as well as the headboard. Yeah, we're starting to get on with a few bits now and get things done. Probably have a few pictures up and things like that. So, yeah.
So that's all for this week. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell if you haven't already to be informed of future videos with us. And if you do want to see some extra updates, there is also the links down below to our Instagram and Facebook. Both are at Portugal-dreamzzz. We'll see you next week. Bye! And I did just want to add in a huge thank you to FitVille for sponsoring us on this week's video.